All right. Well, good morning, River Bible Church. I'm here with Jeff as we're going to talk to him a little bit about his testimony and how he came to know the Lord as he would like to come into membership to the River Bible Church. And we're all excited about that, excited for him. But Jeff, I wanted to
Yeah.
ask, how did you come to know Christ as your Savior? Tell us a little bit about that day.
Um, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to keep it as short as I can. Basically, it was brought up a Catholic. Um, Rejected that when I was 14 and became an atheist for all intents and purposes. Um, Found that to be very dissatisfactory, and so I went on a search for God. And um, I looked high and low and didn't even know how to find him. And one day, um, I found myself just saying to the sky or to God that I didn't believe in, God, I don't want to doubt you. And nothing happened for quite a while, but I did start to find certain Christian apologetic books come across my path, mainly C.S. Lewis, which I really, really enjoyed. And from that, I became a believer in God, which made me a deist or theist. But I believed in God enough to speak to him, to talk to him. And one day I found myself asking God, I said, God, I don't really know you that well. What do you like? Tell me about yourself. Just like I might say to a person, just tell me about yourself. And again, nothing much happened, but for some reason, during my free period in high school, I pulled a Bible down uh, out of the library stacks. I had never read the Bible, didn't know where to begin, but I opened it up to Matthew. And every free period I had, I went down and I read Matthew, and then I went to Mark, and then Luke, and then John. And when I got all the way to the end of John, I closed the Bible and I said to God, I said, okay, God, who's this Jesus guy? I know he's the main character, but is he like a prophet? Is he like a spiritual master? I still had no idea. I was completely blind to who Jesus was. And God spoke right to me in a still, small voice. Um, the same one I think he spoke to Elijah, although I didn't know about Elijah at the time. And he said three words to me. God said three words to me in my question about who Jesus was. And he said to me, here I am. And when he said that, you could have just knocked me over with a feather. I was completely flabbergasted and astonished. I had never heard that before, all through Catholic religious classes and everything. And so I mulled that over for a day or two. And then I said to the Lord, now that I knew him, I knew he was the Lord now. I said, well, Lord, I said, I used the same three words. I said, Lord, here I am, meaning I give you my heart to you, my soul to you. I give myself to you. And everything changed from that minute to this one. Everything changed 180 degrees. Um, so many things all of a sudden made sense to me that made no sense before. Um, my behavior changed. I can remember I had a girlfriend at the time that I was just being a jerk to, and I went to her and I apologized, and she burst into tears because she knew something had happened to me, and I was really sincere. And I remember another thing, which still gives me satisfaction to this day. I had this thick paperback book called the Encyclopedia of the Occult, and it was about 500 or 600 pages. And I took that book and I broke the spine of it and tore it right in two and threw it in the trash.
Yeah, praise God.
Yeah, that really felt good. I can still remember it. And then I started thinking, gee, do I need to get baptized? I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I'd been baptized as a Catholic, so I thought, that's probably good enough. And I didn't know any Christians at the time. Um, but eventually I did meet a brother and we worked together, and he asked me if I'd ever been baptized. And I said, no, just as an infant. He says, oh, you need to get baptized as an adult. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to. And This guy was an ex-Marine. He wanted to make sure all his ducks were in a row. So he said, okay, let's kneel down and say the sinner's prayer together. And I said, I'd love to. That sounds great. And so we knelt together and repeated the sinner's prayer. I can't remember the exact words, but it's the basic one that everybody sort of knows. And I can remember at the end of that, um, another just great peace fell upon me, and I just felt like I had been infused with more grace or something. And shortly after that, we went down to Singing Beach in Manchester, and the water was freezing, and I got baptized as an adult. So um,
Praise
that's my
God.
story.
All right.
That's my story.